What is up, y'all, and welcome into the On the Bluff podcast. Gabe Kuhn here with you, and we don't have Christian, but we do have Kenny Stubblefield.
I'm back,
Kenny
baby.
Stubblefield is in the seat. He'll be co-hosting the show today. Kenny, what's the word, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. I have been grateful to spend the entirety of the day inside the house in front of a computer working because it is freaking hot outside, dude.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
How was the trip from the house to the 92.9 radio station? How was
I'm in the car. I was outside for a grand total of like 15 seconds.
Did you start to sweat? Did you start to sweat when you walked out?
I had that like pre-sweat. You're a chunky guy like me. You're a husky. They call us husky.
Yeah, we're husky.
Like pre-sweat hit me, but no real sweat.
Right. Yeah, dude. It's I don't like it in the middle of July and into August when you start getting hey, for the next 4 weeks you're gonna have a heat advisory. Good God, man. Like, what are we doing here? Just crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it's no fun. I think early fall and spring are the best seasons in Memphis.
Absolutely.
Summer, like we've been conditioned to love it because you were off school as a kid. It's like more free time. But no, summer in Memphis overrated as hell.
Yeah, no, it is.
Winter all over the place. Give me fall and spring as like that perfect sweet spot of Memphis weather.
You ain't lying. Hey, why'd you cut your beard down? You look
because I needed to. It looked like shit. Can we be honest? It was too puffy. It was too much.
Yeah. My wife made me. She said, "Kenny, it's in the way." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
It's in the way. What was it in the way of?
Yeah, you know.
I really want some clarification on that.
Well, she doesn't like having her face. She's like, every time I go to kiss you, it's like I'm wading through a sea of like moss and stuff. She's like, I'm just trying to. So I had to shave. I shaved it. When she says it's in the way, I'm like, yeah, baby.
We listen to our wives around here.
Getting gone. That's all.
You have to listen to your wives. Just if they tell you haircut or beard trim, do it. Don't ask questions. All right. Now we have a lot of shit to get to and a lot of shit to sort through. So I just want to get right into it. I don't want to talk about our weekend. We have this drops on Tuesday, but yesterday on Monday.
Oh my God.
The biggest, most lucrative membership offer in the history of college athletics was offered by the University of Memphis to the Big 12. Among sort of what the details were, one, 200 million big ones. $200 million is what Memphis was prepared to offer the Big 12 for membership. But on top of that, they would take zero distribution for the final 5 years of the Big 12's TV deal with ESPN and Fox. Of the $200 million, $150 million over 5 years would be sponsorship. So each school, each member institution would be able to take advantage of that. And then here's where they really went above and beyond.
Dude,
they were going to be, if they were to get this deal through with the Big 12, they would be subject to expulsion. So they would, the Big 12 could decide to kick them out after 20, 30, 31 if the Big 12 deems the Tigers aren't adding value. So this is the most simple, no risk deal in the history of college athletics. And the Big 12 had an opportunity on their hands, but it seems like they have denied. They didn't hold a formal vote. They just said that they're not interested. Now,
Ross Dellinger came out today. He's kind of the one that broke the details
right,
of it. And
from
he
Yahoo
said,
Sports.
Yeah, and he said straight up, it will literally, that deal, that proposal will change the landscape of conference realignment proposals.
Sure. Well,
moving forward.
I was going to mention that. I think the landscape had already been changed. Memphis is following a bit of a precedent. But I think, the first thing that you see from Memphis fans and from other people is like shaming Memphis, like, oh, you're willing to pay this amount of money to get into a bigger conference. How desperate are you? Blah, 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 blah. Here's the problem with that type of thinking, that line of thinking is SMU 2 years ago to get into the ACC paid $200 million, if you will, and forfeited 9 years of TV revenue to get into the ACC. They, unfortunately, for group of 5 schools that want to get into the power structure, into the Power 4, they set a precedent.
Yeah.
So to get into the power conferences, Memphis just did what they had to, right? This is something that Tulane, Boise State, UTSA, USF, UNLV, all these schools in the group of five, if they want to get in the Power Four, they're going to have to do something similar. So I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about because SMU set the precedent for this. But here's where I get, a little bit frustrated is this is embarrassing to literally lay your life on the line, to forfeit all of that money, $200 million plus not taking any shares of the TV revenue, to put all that on the line and face expulsion in 2030-31, which SMU didn't put in the ACC contract if they didn't like you, the Big 12. It's embarrassing to get denied with all that on the table. It was a no-risk deal for the Big 12, but they still said no. And what's embarrassing about it is if this doesn't cut it, it just seems like nothing will. And like you have this University of Memphis athletic department and school that thinks they need to be a part of the power structure that's aiming for that. And it feels like nothing's enough and nothing ever will be enough. That's what gets to be a bit embarrassing about the whole thing. I don't shame them in the slightest for their direction here. In fact, I take some positives away from it from Ed Scott's perspective. There's a clear and obvious want and need to get out of the American Athletic Conference. And there's a clear and obvious direction. They want to get to the power conferences. Mm-hmm. But to have to face a no like this when you're basically offering the Big 12, the moon and the stars, that to me is just as brutal as a no as we have seen in all of conference realignment.
Can I push back a little bit on that?
Go ahead.
I don't see it as embarrassing at all in the slightest. And I'll tell you why. Because Memphis basically just said, for all the narratives that are out there, they came out with this deal and smashed every narrative about the University of Memphis.
The money,
the investment, the willingness to invest into the program, into the athletic department. They have capable leadership that is able to get people on board with what the direction is they're trying to head in. And honestly, if we look at it this like me and you had a conversation prior to in the green room where we were kind of analogizing this to, a dating relationship where you are courting somebody and say, go on a date with me, take me, like choose me. And the response to it is it is clear to me that Ed Scott and Bill Hargrave, and not only that, they can love what they have and the vision they're going in because they kind of are paid to, right? Like they are the vision casters, the vision makers for the University of Memphis athletic department and the university as a whole. But they have big time international global brands that are saying,
right,
we believe in you too.
Lowe's, AutoZone, FedEx.
100% FedEx is consistently, even with people were asking questions once Fred Smith passed away, like, what is FedEx's involvement going to be moving forward? And it is clear they are as involved and even more involved and more willing to put financial culpability or financial weight behind their decision to be involved with the University of Memphis. To me, it's like, all right, Big 12, something's wrong with y'all. Like,
sure,
this is a situation where I say they have literally put every card on the table, and the Big 12 has said no. And it is not because the offer wasn't good enough. It's because for some reason the Big 12 says no. Okay, cool.
That's why
we move on.
That's why the denial in itself, that's what I was referring to as embarrassing. And you go back to the relationship thing. You've been talking to this girl, trying to get her to go on a date with you, trying to see you as a realistic boyfriend or partner, for I don't know, a decade, right? You've been trying and trying and trying. Well, now you got a brand new job. You make $100K a year plus, you make six figures. You got that rollie on your wrist. You have a stable home. You just bought a home. Like, you have all these things going for you. You approach that girl again and she says, no, not interested. Like, that's embarrassing to a certain extent. You've built yourself up to be courted by this woman or by the Big 12, if you're Memphis's case, and you're still getting a no. Even though you've built yourself up to this level, it's still not enough. That in itself to me is embarrassing. I'm not talking about the money raised. That's awesome. In the Ross Dellinger piece, he said that by next year, because of FedEx's donation,
unbelievable,
they expect to be at 20.5, the full 20.5 rev share, which is unbelievable in the group of 5. Like, there's positives to this whole thing, but ultimately, I think the negative of being denied yet again with the most lucrative and best offer ever given to a conference, that's embarrassing. It hurts. It stings.
I think it's literally just them saying, we don't want you, and that's okay. You move on, and you say, okay, cool. Let's go find somebody else.
Can we dig into that?
Yeah.
And I want your honest opinion, because this is one of the hardest questions that we'll answer on today's show, on this podcast. Why don't they want you?
Yeah.
Why? Like, do you have a good answer for that? Like, because I've heard a bunch. Well, they don't want to be at 17 teams. That's an awkward number. Well, they have views of the city, and they view it as a crime-ridden city, and blah blah blah. And the school's not very good, and academics, blah blah blah. Like, what truly is the reason, even with all this on the table, where the Big 12's like, you're not good enough for us? Like, what is it? Because if you go through the checklist items of what makes a great athletic department and great member institution in an athletic conference. Good in basketball, check. Good in football, check. Revenue generating sports, in order. New stadium not new stadium, but newly renovated stadium owned by the school, Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium.
It's crazy.
Basketball is constantly good, and they play in a professional arena downtown in Memphis on Beale Street in FedEx Forum. Clearly the money's not an issue. They just raised $200 million to offer to the Big 12. You look at donor base. It's decent donor base. And like you said, we have multiple companies willing to invest. FedEx already has an NIL. AutoZone, Lowe's was part of this deal for $200 million to the Big 12. So, like, when you look at checklist items that are supposed, and here's the other thing, footprint in the South, which the Big 12 doesn't quite have. Like, you'd have a footprint in SEC country.
Right.
Like, all of these things, these checklist items that you want from a program to potentially make that jump into the power conferences, Memphis has. So, like, my ultimate question that I cannot find, like, a straight answer to, and maybe it's a amalgamation of things. I get that. Why don't the Big 12 and their presidents and their chancellors and their commissioners, why don't they want Memphis? What is it?
I wonder if, honestly, it's a situation where, let's go back to the dating analogy. All right.
Okay.
You see this chick and she's a 10, right? Okay. You see this dude and he's a 10. They are just,
I don't relate as much to that, but
right,
sure.
Right. Well, you're a 10. I noticed that about you. You are a 10. But I see, you see this person and they're a 10. They have, like, physically, looks wise, everything. They have everything that you could ever want, right? You look at them and you say, man, everything is good about your looks are great. Your financials are great. This kind of stuff is great. But what if they're truly fucked up on the inside? Like, what if they are truly, and they're crazy?
So
you being
in the 10 is Memphis in this,
and you being a relationship with them, while it might feel really good in the moment because they're a 10, they're fucking your life up, right? Like, what if that's what it is, Gabe? What if? Because I have another example. And I've used it twice on the Bluff City Media airwaves yesterday, and I'm going to use it again. Because I'm wondering, do you remember a few years ago when Elon Musk put it out there on Twitter, when it was still twitter.com, and said, Twitter is the space for news, and this is where free speech should happen. I am going to make an offer to the Twitter board of directors to own Twitter. And man, all of us were like, holy crap, this is terrible. If Elon Musk gets a hold of this, what's going to happen? This is going to be terrible. This, that, and the third. And then he drops the price tag. He says, this is what it is. This is how much it's going to cost for Twitter. And all of a sudden, the financial folks all around the country were like, oh, okay. Twitter board of directors might actually, if they refuse this offer, like, this is actually probably like a not doing your due diligence as the board of directors for a publicly owned company. You're not doing your job, because this deal is way better than what you could ever possibly imagine for a little company where you literally just go on and 148 characters later or 240 characters later, you got a little post. So he puts it out there and they say yes. And now Elon Musk is the owner of X.com, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if them denying Memphis this no risk, like lucrative deal proposal that's out there, is that more of a sign of Memphis being effed up, or is that the Big 12 being not doing their due diligence and not being about the things that matter? And that's in this industry making money and providing the most possible money for your schools.
See, that's what I don't know, because Memphis is offering revenue to a commissioner in Brett Yormark and a conference in the Big 12 who's begging for revenue. They just signed a deal with PayPal and Venmo. They want to go to Mexico City for basketball events. This is why it just doesn't compute to me and why I don't have an answer to that question. But
$250 million, Gabe.
I think the more apt comparison to that relationship you said, because you originally said you're talking about a 10, but the person that's courting them may think they're deeply fucked up on the inside. That was the way that you said it. Right. And I think that's okay. I think this is more, Memphis is that 10, but one time the Big 12 saw them outside when they were going swimming and they think they have crusty toes. That's what it is.
No, I don't think this has anything to do with
Memphis. Just a bunch of little tiny things that they're just being nitpicky as shit about. That's what I think.
I don't think this has anything to do with Memphis. If the fact that we are having to sit here and go, what is it? It's not the financials. It's not all the other bullshit that you've put out there. It's not this. It's not that. We've taken care of this. We own the Liberty Bowl now. We have this amount of sponsorship. We have this amount of money. We have investments coming in that are $250 million of investments coming in that we can give to you. We are going to be at the 20.5 revenue sharing next year in NIL money. We're not going to be one of those. We're not going to be way down here at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of NIL funds. We're going to compete with everybody in the Big 12, and they still say no. That to me is like, it's not Memphis, it's you. It's y'all.
But see, that's the problem. Well, then why is Memphis courting them so hard? Why is Memphis the one going to them with these offers? Right? Memphis has the problem. They're in a bad conference, and they want to get to a good conference.
Yeah.
So if you're denying Memphis, clearly you think Memphis has an issue. You have an issue with Memphis academically, the view of the city. There's something there that the Big 12 and the presidents and the chancellors and the commissioner can't quite get over. And honestly, I don't know about the commissioner. Brett Yormark, if I've been reading the tea leaves, he probably was okay with this deal. He probably
agree.
Was the one that was like, hell yeah, I'll take this. Yeah. But you start talking to Utah's chancellor and Utah's president,
right?
Kansas's president and Kansas's chancellor. Then
Colorado, Deion Sanders called and said, hell no.
Right, but and here's the thing that I also heard out there. There was this idea, Memphis is just going to be a bottom dweller. Like, they're not going to be good. You're just adding a shitty team, and you have to remake the schedules because of that. Well, no, I don't think that's the case at all. Because if I'm, going through history, let's just we can talk about recent history, ancient history. I don't care. Memphis has done really good against Big 12 opponents.
Really good.
36-19 against Big 12 opponents in basketball.
5-2
against Big 12 opponents in football, and they've won 2 straight bowl games against Big 12 opponents. First one, of course, Iowa State. Second one, West Virginia. So, that is not a reasonable criticism as to why Memphis should be left out or was left out, or why the Big 12 turned away from this deal.
Yeah, I mean, you asked the question, why is Memphis then still continuing to pursue the Big 12? We all have had a moment in our lives where we've courted and pursued a female, and then one day just realized, holy crap, they're crazy.
Yeah,
they're crazy. Maybe today, maybe Monday, July 21st.
And you know what you hope happens in most of those situations? You hope that in 5 to 10 years, that female in this instance, the Big 12 turns around and says, God, I was so stupid.
I was so dumb.
Why did I deny them? That's what you hope happens. And I think that, honestly, we can talk about the positives. I think that's the track Memphis is on to a certain extent, man.
I agree.
Right? 20.5 by next year in revenue share, the peak, the cap.
So crazy.
They were able to pulled together and raised $200 million worth of value to a conference. And with that, they were able to forfeit really any TV revenue coming in with that 200 million. That shows that you're in decent shape as an athletic department. And also, I'll go back to what I said at the top of this. I think another positive is the fact that Ed Scott and this administration, they're very serious about getting into a bigger conference. As serious as anyone, quite literally, has been in the history of college athletics.
So
there's some positives to take. I know that the negative of being denied again outweighs a lot of that. There is some positives to take away.
You've heard Ed Scott. You've sat with him and talked with him, and you've heard him talk, and the dude is just smooth, and he just I love listening to him talk. He's phenomenal. I can hear him when they're proposing that the Dellinger post where they talked about the 3 things. I could hear his voice saying those things. I could hear him point number 3. Okay, like here's what we got to offer you.
Yeah, right.
But here's what I'm gonna tell you. We think we're gonna add value, but if you don't think we do, motherfuckers, y'all can kick us out in 5 years, bro. You can expel us,
dude. That is.
I can hear it, and I'm like,
that's borderline car salesman right there.
That fires me up, bro. Ed Scott, shout out to you, man. You put everything on the table, everything.
If you're not happy with us, you can return us. Full refund.
Yeah, man. We'll spice this up in the contract language. We'll say expel. But motherfuckers, kick us out in 5 years if you want to. If you don't think we add value, watch what we do. I can hear him saying that to those chancellors and all those guys, and I freaking love it. And I hope, man, I don't know, man. Obviously, it's sad. Obviously, it's like crap, man. Like that sucks that the Big 12. It was by far the hardest no the Memphis has ever received, ever. Right?
Yeah, because
ever.
It was. Like, I want people to grasp this.
Yeah.
This is the biggest offer in the history of college athletics for membership. Like, not second, not third. It is first by a landslide. This is one of the hardest offers anyone has ever had to turn down, and they seem to have no issue with it at the Big 12.
They said absolutely zero.
It was like it's not no, it was hell no. And it's like, how?
Hell no.
How do you did you even think about it?
No,
did you sit down and have a meeting?
Did
like
somebody,
when Ross Dellinger reported they didn't even vote on it, I'm like, what the how can you not $200 million on the line? They're not taking any money from you, and you don't even vote on it. That's insane.
Did you even get the art? Did you get the proposal? Did your printer run out of ink when we sent the fax?
Did we have the right email?
Like,
what's your fax machine number?
Check your junk mail. Like, is it in your junk mail?
Oh my God.
Like, what? But and so again, I take a look at that and I say, okay, cool. That's on you then. That's not on us.
Well, but
that's on y'all.
I get it, Kenny, but that doesn't make you feel any better about where Memphis is at in the American Athletics.
Oh, it does when the Big Ten or the ACC calls, or
Okay, Big Ten, SEC, never calling.
Or when the SEC says, "Hey, how about we make a trade? Vanderbilt for Memphis. How about Vanderbilt for Memphis?"
It's not happening, so we get that out. What could happen though? I was thinking about this. I want your opinion before we move on. ACC,
yeah.
Could you take this offer and sort of translate and say, "Hey, CC, what's up?
Hey,
what's up? You already accepted SMU on a similar deal. You gonna take us too?"
Here's what I would say to him. Hey, man, that was the Big 12 offer. We'll give you an ACC offer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it might not
you have
be
to talk back that like
it might not be the
expelled.
Yeah,
the expelled thing. Take that out completely.
You can't expel us after 5 years.
Yeah, you guys don't have as much ground.
You guys have Wake Forest in your conference.
Well, and y'all had a ongoing lawsuit for like the better part of 4 years with your two best schools in Clemson and Florida State.
They don't think you add value,
right? So
you don't get to then come back to us and tell us you don't add value.
We're not gonna give you the same offer, but we can give you something similar. Like, should they do that? Is that something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. Okay. Wouldn't you be interested in that?
I mean, yes, but I also have questions about the ACC long term more than I have questions about the Big 12 long term. for obvious
Well,
reasons.
yeah, of course, yeah. The Big 12 hasn't had a lawsuit for the last 4 years against them from their biggest
Right.
schools. But it's crazy to me. It just once again proves that Memphis is in an American conference that just it's wild to me that Memphis is about to hit that 20.5 rev share cap that all these other Power 4 schools are hitting.
Honestly, I want people to grasp that's silly at a Group of 5 institution with the lack of TV money coming in every year.
It's crazy.
That's silly.
Dude, the American Conference, is it the only conference right now? I think it is that they don't have a cap to the top. They have a cap to the bottom. Like if you don't hit this mark,
right,
you risk.
They have $3.5 million over 3 years or something like that.
It's crazy.
But like Memphis, I believe in TV revenue last year made $11 million from the AAC, and they somehow are raising enough funds and getting enough donations to meet 20.5 by next year, and revenue directly to the players. Like that is an insane. That should also show power conferences. You don't get that money. You're not able to get to that number without an unreal amount of support from corporate donors and everybody else behind the scenes, because your TV revenue in the AAC ain't giving you 20 million per year. You get half of that through TV revenue. So tip the cap. Impressive work to be able to reach that number by next year. Now, while all this was going on today, did you see the American Athletic Conference rebranded?
I did.
So they no longer want to be the American Athletic Conference or the AAC. They'd rather be the American Conference or the American. And it gets worse, because that's not that bad, I guess, but it gets really bad. They now have a conference ambassador / mascot.
Stop it.
Soar the Eagle.
Soar the Eagle.
I'm going to read. This is from straight. I'm not shitting you. This is straight from the American Athletic Conference website. This is what they wrote about Soar the Eagle. Soar the Eagle is the American Conference's first ever conference ambassador. He is a multi-platform brand symbol designed to personify our values and story. In fact, we are the first collegiate conference to unveil both a live and animated character to represent its brand. Soar's very identity reflects our DNA of innovation, grit, and service. His name, Soar, evokes upward flight and aspiration, aligning perfectly with the rally call Built to Rise. From day one, he's been engineered to engage a wide range of audiences and to bridge the gap between the physical and digital realms of fandom.
If y'all don't get up out my face with that nonsense.
Yeah, brother, I want to soar off the tallest building in Memphis right now. Hearing that, that's what I want to do. Because what is that going to do?
Absolutely nothing.
Here's my thing. You guys have balked at the idea of a Coastal Carolina and all these App State, like good schools that you can bring in this conference. Instead, you go for all the military schools, for God's sake. Like, you guys have made horrible decisions as far as membership is concerned. And I understand at first your hands are tied. You get UCF, Cincy, SMU, everybody gets stolen. And everybody wants to leave. But you guys have not helped yourself with on-field product or on-court product with the member institutions that have been brought in.
Yeah.
And even the rumored ones are ass. And then your big thing is, we're going to rebrand. We'll have more brand recognition being the American as opposed to the American Athletic Conference. And, we have to bring in Soar the Eagle. Soar the Eagle. Here's Soar the Eagle right here. He's a brand ambassador and mascot of the American Athletic Conference. Get me the hell out of this conference as soon as possible.
Well, the part that's weird to me is also not only does that, I wonder who, what marketing firm did they hire to create that
I hope
brand.
I hope they didn't pay much for the marketing.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Number one, that this, but they also Soar the Eagle is actually a character in Sonic the Hedgehog. So are they going to get copyrighted? Is that a copyright? What is going on here?
That would be pretty hilarious.
How crazy would that be?
But no, they brought in a marketing firm, and instead of what ideas can we do to generate revenue? We can do some different tournaments during the year and and basketball, and we could pitch this to the TV. No, they came up with Soar the fucking Eagle. That's what they came up with the marketing firm. I
saw somebody from BCM tweeted today. They said, shout out to the American Conference for taking athletic out of their name because it doesn't look like anything athletic is happening in the conference at all. I was like, damn.
That hurts. That hurts, but
it's painful.
Kind of true sometimes. Based on some of the teams I see coming to FedEx Forum and coming to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium every year, I don't think that's an unfair criticism.
Or the facilities that some of the schools use, like what was it? UTSA UTSA had movable gym or movable baskets in there, like the ones you get at Walmart that you have to put sand in the bottom to make sure they stay.
Didn't UTSA have pull-out bleachers like my high school?
Dude,
holy shit. I mean, come on.
What are we talking about?
That's terrible. That's really bad. All right, now, final thing, and it doesn't get any better. Hopefully in the Hot 3 we can get some positive news.
Yep.
But University of Memphis basketball program has had a tough offseason, and they just took another big hit. Sincere Parker, transfer from McNeese State, expected to be one of the leading scorers on this team going into next year. He was arrested for aggravated assault over the weekend. It stems from an incident with a woman in the end of May. He was not identified or brought in by police until July 15th, but he has officially been brought in. His bond was originally $120,000. It was $75,000. He's been released. He's entering a plea of not guilty to the aggravated assault. I think one of the things I do like about the way the athletic department is handling it is they seem to be on one accord, understanding, as opposed to what that Mikey Williams bullshit was a couple of years ago, where they kept him on, but then they're like, no, we got to get rid of him under Laird Veach. Ed Scott and Tim Duncan are very clear about this. He's going to be on the team.
Have they come out with a statement saying that, or is that just from Arthur Horn?
This is from Arthur Horn, and this is, I believe I saw a brief statement from the University of Memphis. You'd have to double check me on that. I don't want to say anything wrong, but it seems like they're going to stand by him until he gets his day in court, which I think is a fine thing to do. I don't like that there's more drama with this program. It feels like every other week you get some bad news. It was Nolan Smith leaving, PJ Haggerty and Dane Danger not coming back, no continuity. But now you have a guy who was probably, if I was going to pick out of everybody on the team who's going to be the leading scorer and bucket getter for this team, it was going to be Sincere Parker. We'll see what happens, but this is not a positive. This is a very, very bad thing for Sincere and certainly for this team.
Yeah, I find it very difficult to talk about this because
they're
obviously we have to say this it's all alleged right now. What I did not hear Arthur Horn say yesterday in the post the court hearing, he didn't deny that there were actual physical altercations that happened. He basically was saying that the young lady is an ex and they've had issues in the past. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help your case, bro.
Well, he said there's two sides to the story.
I'm sure there is. And here's my thought, Gabe, as a man, if any of those sides include me taking a hand that I could palm a basketball with, wrapping around a female's neck and squeezing, I'm done.
Yeah,
right.
There's nothing that warrants that ever. So
I'm done. And if there's a self-defense claim, then that'll come out in court, and I hope it does. And listen, they say they have video evidence, and there's people on the phone when it happened, and if that's the case, man, like, listen, I don't think it's unfair to say that we can give Sincere Parker the benefit of the doubt because there is not a history of this at all in his past. Like, he doesn't have any run-ins with police. He has no charges ever, prior to this. But we don't have to then, to rationalize it in our brain, turn it around on the young lady and say that she's a crazy lady, or she's at fault, or she did this or she did that. Man, listen. All of these things are alleged, and the system will play itself out.
I was going to say, it'll play out in court.
Yeah, the thing will play itself out in court. I am concerned about, like, how do you then, like, transition into the most important part of the offseason starting now when the team is here and have this hanging over as a black cloud over the program. And I want to reiterate again, Penny has nothing to do with this. Like none of this is his fault. Like we can sit here and say, well, he should have vetted these things.
There was nothing in his
nothing
history
to vet.
worth vetting.
There's
right.
nothing to vet. Like how do you vet? Like how do you vet? Well, have you ever?
I read Parth's story.
Yeah,
Parth's story about Sincere Parker in the Daily Memphian last week.
Beautiful.
It sounds like a guy who's
awesome
at that point, like fought through injuries and fought through dozens of missteps in regards to his career to get to this point and finally break out with Memphis, and you get all hyped up, and then here comes Saturday. Was it Saturday? And here comes the charge and him locked up at 201 Poplar. Like
let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on, and this is my last question for you about this topic, because I think we can continue to go down this path, but we have to still say just everything is at its infancy stage and it's all going to come out. What are your thoughts on Memphis fans that are questioning the timing of everything in terms of when the assault apparently happened to when the police were notified?
I am not anyone who is educated enough on how law enforcement has to go about these matters.
Yeah.
And I'm not educated on who the woman is exactly and the relationship she and Sincere had. So I know that people like commenting on things that they're not educated on. I don't. So I'm going to stay away from that one if you don't mind, Kenny.
Well, no, I got you. I'll say this. As somebody who has in the past worked and advocated for victims of abuse.
Right.
Like I'll say this. Nothing about the timing of the thing of how all of this came out. Because
it was end of May, July 15th arrest.
Like, it didn't concern me at all. Do you know, like, if Sincere is guilty of what he's being alleged to have done, do you know that most abuse victims never, ever even tell their story ever in their life, ever? I have so many stories I can tell you about that. And so I say, if this did happen the way that this young lady is describing it, kudos to her for having the strength within 2 weeks to come forward and tell her story, right? Like, shout out to you. But if you're lying, I hope that's found out too. We'll see.
I would just say to anybody who, like, whether it's a rape case or a domestic violence case, I would stay away as a general rule from talking about timing and when things were
100%, Gabe, 100%.
Because these are things that women wear with them on their psyche, but they're embarrassed by,
100%.
They're ashamed by them,
traumatized.
So traumatized,
maybe
scared of the perp, of the person who did this to them. So, like, I think as a general rule, just stay away from that.
Stop talking about that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah. Like, whether it was the day of or 2 years later, if Sincere Parker is guilty of what he's being accused of, he's guilty of what he's being accused of. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And I'll say this, there's the certain group of people who did not have a problem with the timing were the police. So like
for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and grab a break on that note. We'll come back. We'll knock out the hot three.
Choking and token. The Mid-South's first cannabis-themed jiu-jitsu tournament.
August 16th at Midtown Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
At 1 p.m. 21 plus to compete or consume.
Consumption not required.
Ounce of Hope is licensed by the state of Tennessee. This is all 100% legal hemp products. Everything's good to go.
We'll have gi divisions.
No gi divisions.
Madison bracket, guaranteeing 4 matches per division, plus an absolute winner.
Each fighter receives an Ounce of Hope gift bag, and there's prizes for every winner.
Check out the link below to sign up.
I think it's stupid. What are you talking about? I don't know why in the world you would go get Anthony Simons. He is like expensive Keontae George. Everything that you did this offseason was to build like a culture of like dogs. And he's a sphinx. You know, he's just a hairless cat who can't even get in the car. The guy's parents named him after Anthony Hardaway, but he's not even good enough to get a nickname. No, he's just still Anthony. He's still Anthony. He's still Anthony.
We've been clamoring for KCP for years now on this Memphis roster. Leave him alone, damn it.
He's earned his nickname, KCP.
Yeah, he has a nickname.
Yeah.
Anthony Simon's middle name is probably like Scott, and that's why he can't go by his initials.
Scott. Yes.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Loot Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story. Listen, I just got a bone to pick with you for a second. This is 2 weeks that I've missed out of the last 3. And both times you've talked crap about my hot 3 intros. I like being extra.
Well, you stop right there. Stop. I've not talked crap.
I don't like
I
it.
have just said I'm not going to bring the same energy that Kenny does. I'm going to leave that to Kenny. That is how I've said it. Now, you could view it however you want to view it. But my words were not direct hits at one Kenny Stubblefield.
I felt like you were saying, dude's a psycho, and I'm not a psycho. That's what I thought I heard you say.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I hear
Maybe
you.
I am a little crazy.
People have a tendency to hear what they want to hear.
That's bro.
You're not excluded from that.
I'm not.
I do it sometimes. We're all guilty.
We're all guilty of it. All right, let's get to the first topic. Grizzlies offseason outlook. Summer League is, thank God, it's over.
Why thank God?
Because it was terrible. That team was not good, right?
I mean,
Like, am I wrong?
I mean, they were 2-2 in Vegas, and
There was just nothing about that team outside of the fact that it was good seeing Jalen Wells back out there 3 months after he
isn't
got
that kind of like always what you look forward to?
Yeah, he got his face broke by
Like,
what's
can
his name?
Say like Brandon Clark when he won MVP and they won Summer League. I wasn't that bought in. I didn't really care.
What? With Brandon Clark?
wasn't.
What about Scottie Pippen Jr. last year when he should have won the MVP?
No, like I respect. Listen, shout out to all the guys that show through, but I'm watching for the guys when they play, not for like the team. You know, I don't care if name a guy on this team, Philandris Fleming. I don't care if he comes out on a heater. I just don't.
No. Yeah, absolutely not.
I watch for the second year and the first year guy and the rookies, and I don't know if I've gone through a summer league where I'm like, that's good, that's bad. Like it's based on from an entertainment standpoint. It's from a player to player standpoint what they're actually producing.
It would have been interesting to me to see Cedric Howard out there. Just because we haven't seen a lot of him in his college career.
Sounds like he's ready to play too.
Sounds like he's ready to play. Sounds like he could have played.
The way he put it with Michael Wallace when he showed up to Summer League in Vegas, he said, they just want to add some more armor on my shoulder. And I'm like, I hate that this is my reaction, Kenny, but I'm like, armor or no armor, if the Grizzlies injury bug's going to catch up with you, it's catching up.
It's catching up, bro.
There's nothing you can do to outrun that shit. It is strong.
When someone gets that voodoo doll in their hands and you're the target, there ain't nothing you can do about it.
The Grizzlies injury, lack of luck is as strong as Ronnie fucking Coleman. I mean, it was ridiculous. But no, this offseason, I would grade it right around a B, right there.
Yeah.
I don't think it was average. I thought it was good. I thought, bringing in Ty Jerome, phenomenal pickup, especially that value, 3 years, $28 million. That is a steal for what he did last year. And if he can do those same things with you, especially knowing that John misses games and he could be an on-ball guy, phenomenal pickup. You re-signed Jaren and Santi.
Perfect.
I feel like that needed to happen. Cam Spencer gets his deal. That's sort of to the side. But I like that Zach Kleiman understands, okay, these 4-year, 10.5, these G.G. Jackson, Vince Williams Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr., Cam Spencer converted two-way deals, those are important going forward.
Very valuable. Very valuable.
So that's what that signaled to me, and that's why I got some positivity from that. I thought Summer League, you saw some good flashes from Javon Small. Jemai Mashak's an absolute – he has the makings of – if you watched the finals last year, you would see it.
Yep.
He has the makings of a really, really useful wing player in this league. Really good defensively. And if he can knock down shots the way he did in Summer League, I'm just saying, watch out. All he has to do – is go 2 for 5 in a game, and that's an absolute win for you.
What do they call that? Playing with found money. You're just playing. That's found money right there, man. If you got him hitting 2 out of 5 shots, whatever shots they are, that's playing with house money, dude.
Yes.
Because you know what you're going to get from him on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to be a lockdown defender, point of attack guy, which is what you see out of Tomas Isolo. To me, there's 2 big takeaways from the offseason so far. Number one is that you have a very clear view of what Tomas Isolo wants to do with the Grizzlies now, with the offense, with the defense, how they play. The big thing is just with Summer League, we saw it with Summer League, there weren't good enough players to do that with, right? He needs an all-world point guard, and I'm sorry, but Zion Poulin and Javon Small are not those guys, right? But you do have an all-world.
Poulin especially. Poor guy,
man.
That was rough.
Rough Summer League. Him and Armando Bacot. Woo, that was rough.
Yeah.
But I like that you kind of know exactly what you're looking for. What is Jalen Wells going to look like with Ja Morant and KCP out there? What is G.G. Jackson going to look like? What are the things that Coach Isolo is saying to G.G. Jackson about how he wants him to play? Well, you heard it. You heard him talking to Jessica Benson about it. This is how G.G. Jackson is expected to play, and it's the way that we've been wanting him to. Bro, stop dribbling so much. Just get to the basket. Use your 6'9", your 6'9" height, your athleticism, and just get to the basket.
And one thing I liked about Gigi, quick decisions this Summer League.
Yes, dude.
Quick decision making.
You slowed it down.
Passing or going to score. He's mostly going to score, but he had 6 assists in one of those games.
13.6 assists. Yeah,
making quick decisions, being decisive.
Yeah,
with his playmaking and the ball in his hand. So I like to see that. Still want to see more defensively, but I don't think in Summer League you can really, unless you're a Jemai Mashak, you're not going to give anybody a good look of what you are defensively.
100%. The second thing I liked about that I like about the offseason, and this is why I think it's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, because what most Grizzlies fans wanted to see happen was, I want to see the Grizzlies raise their ceiling. I want to see them raise their ceiling. Did they do that? No. But you know what they did do? They raised their floor. And I like that. I like that the guys who were on the end of the bench last year, the guys that are going to be on the end of the bench this year are better.
Yeah. Here's the other thing, Kenny, with that conversation. Raising the ceiling, or going all in. I hate those terms. In Grizzlies Twitter and Grizzlies conversations, because I think when you talk about it, there's only one thing that could possibly refer to in my head, and that refers to Ja Morant playing 65 plus games and playing in the playoffs and never getting hurt in the playoffs. Yeah. If you're going all in or you're trying to raise your ceiling, that's the way.
That's it.
Nothing from outside this organization. Again, Rob Fisher said it on Night Court so brilliantly, so well, no notes, but he said, we can talk about Zach Edey and how he's going to grow in a year too. We can sit here and we can see if Jaren's going to make some growth. Is he going to be a better screen setter with Tomas Isolo? We can have all these conversations. But he said, until Ja is on the floor for 65 or 70 games a year plus the playoffs, the whole all-in championship conversation, it just seems to mean nothing, right? Like that has to happen for any of these other conversations
100%.
to hold weight. And I hate to put it that bluntly, and some people may view that as a reductionist take, but that's the reality you live in when you have Ja Morant as the face of the franchise.
I love it. I love it. Hey, shout out real quick. I don't know. Listen, I hope we have G5 classified again this year. Awesome. Guest, former Memphis head coach Justin Fuente.
Yeah.
Big announcement today, man.
Yeah, I saw that. TCU
he's now the
color
radio. He's now the TCU radio analyst, man. That's awesome. Shout out to him. That dude was phenomenal on that show.
Go check out our interview with him. Why not?
Yeah, why
If you're
not?
on the YouTube channel right now, go check out our interview with him last year on G5 Classified. I did get a kick out of the fact that you were there. You were on hand to hear it.
Yep.
We asked him, "Are you ever going to get back into coaching?" And he all but said,
"Nope."
Fuck no. Like, he wanted to say absolutely the hell not. But he basically said, I'm comfortable in my shoes right now doing leadership stuff. And he was
Volleyball
calling
dad.
games for ESPN then.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he took that gig. He's chilling.
Dude, he's so good at that too, man. And he loves being a volleyball dad. But shout out to Justin Fuente. That was a phenomenal interview. And it still rings true today. Like, you need to go back and listen to it. I know it was last season, but it was a phenomenal job by you and Kyron. I'm excited to know that he's going to be still in the game, but not having to coach and not having to, because that man looked like he was cooling, bro.
I've had debates with my former teammates about this. How do you think he'd handle, like, I mean, I have an answer. Like, today's day and age of NIL and everything like that.
Well, I have my theories because he came out and said today he made an announcement.
Yeah.
He said, in today's landscape, I'm good. Right? Like, I don't want to coach in today's landscape. So I have a feeling it would be great. But what do you think? He
can talk himself into getting it done. I just think as he is right now, I don't know if he'd have a whole bunch of success because I don't think he has ever been interested in the way that college athletics are. Like, when we were at Memphis, like, it was walk-ons and 2-stars, brother. Like, no one was making money. Not under the table, not above the table. There was no money circulating to any of the players on that damn roster.
It's awesome.
Unless it was set under Larry Porter. Right? Like, Fuente was anti all of that stuff. So I definitely have questions about how he'd handle it if he were to step back into coaching.
Well, I think he proved it by saying, I'm good. Because I'm sure he's had plenty of people that have come and said, hey, bro. Like, because
he's had some opportunities.
Yeah, he's had opportunities. Yeah. But shout out to Justin Fuente. Let's get to the next topic. Topic number 2. The AARP Avengers with the Clippers. They just got their leader, Chris Paul.
Their leader. God.
Their Captain America.
I will say this. Chris Paul and leadership, that is the most overrated conversation in sports, and it always has been.
Okay.
Like, he's a fine leader, but he seems to rub some people the wrong way, and he never won a championship. But was he ever in the Western Conference Finals? Like, he was just – I don't think he was.
Like, was he with Phoenix?
No, he was with Phoenix. Sorry, he was in a finals with Phoenix.
Yeah, that's right. He was in the finals.
I'm talking about. I was thinking more Clippers era, but he definitely never made it to the Western Conference Finals with them.
Yeah,
but he's back with the Clippers, and again, AARP is the best way to put it because that was my first reaction. Is like, this team is old as hell.
Yep.
They are so old. Kawhi is 34. Bogdan Bogdanović is 32. Brook Lopez 37. Nick Batum 36. Chris Paul 40, James Harden 35, Bradley Beal 34. Like, their average age in their starting lineup is 31 years old. And then there's a potential lineup they could run out there that would be the oldest on record lineup ever run in the NBA. 37 average age. And it's a lineup that makes some sense.
And they're
like
actually
it's Chris Paul, Brad Beal, Kawhi Leonard, Brook Lopez, and I think Nick Batum. That's what average age of 37, which would be the oldest in NBA history. So I think this team has a lot to worry about, right? Age, injury history with Kawhi and Brad Beal and Chris Paul, and keeping them healthy for the playoffs, and also you have to get over the James Harden playoff curse. But if you just look at the types of players they brought in, if they can stay healthy, stay the course, get to the playoffs relatively healthy, they could be a dangerous team. But that's how I've felt every year that the Clippers have had Kawhi. They're good enough for me to get close to the playoffs and say, you know what? I don't want to see that team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they're never good enough for me to say, oh, I think that team's winning an NBA title.
No, yeah. I think if they are able to somehow stay healthy, they'd be a tough out in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't you think? I mean, because they've got veteran upon veteran upon veteran
Sure.
upon veteran, which what we've realized outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and a lot of that was due to, I think, fantastic roster building plus a little bit of luck injury-wise, throughout the playoffs. It's the older guys that win it. And so, but I cannot see that lasting over an entire season, right? Like the health side of things. I just don't see it.
So Shams reporting Chris Paul, this is likely going to be his final season, his 21st season. Could we have Chris Paul and LeBron both gone in the same offseason?
That'd be crazy, man. I don't see, man, the part of it that makes
LeBron
me
would want to be more standalone than that as a retirement. That's just me speculating, though.
the part of it that makes me think LeBron thinks he can still do it is that he's pissed off that the Lakers have thought of Luka. This is Luka Doncic's team. Like moving forward, like
how ironic is that, though? By the way, can we just talk about the hypocrisy with that with LeBron? I'm a big LeBron fan.
I'm a huge.
I can even point this out.
Yeah.
For years, he talked about Anthony Davis taking over and being the player for the Lakers.
Right.
Now he gets it with Luka, and he seems to not really like it how he thought he would.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. And like the notion that I think it was Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst article that talked about LeBron saying his whole reasoning behind it is that I chose to be here, y'all traded for him, and so this should still be. I mean, I do think out of a respect factor, it is a little bit weird for Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick to sit down with Luka Doncic by himself and say, "This is your team. Here's the note." But literally, here's
they
a
told him they
notebook.
were selling the team. They told him all
Right.
that. They didn't
He
tell
knew-
Bron.
They didn't tell Bron. They didn't offer Bron an extension. Like those kinds of things, I get like kind of being like, "Yo, I feel like I'm getting like pushed out here," but at the same time, it's like, it's just so messy.
Yeah,
man.
no. Listen, I get it from LeBron's side to a certain extent. Like, I spent the rest of my career here. You guys had 5 losing seasons or missed playoffs in a row. I've got you back to a perennial playoff contender. I got you back to a championship. Won a
I
championship.
got you a ring,
Like
man.
all of I saw Dave Portnoy and some shitheads out there like saying, LeBron, you've embarrassed that franchise. It's like you guys are so idiotic, but it's LeBron. It comes with the territory to a certain extent. But what I'd say to LeBron when it comes to like feeling like you're owed something, the Lakers have a long storied franchise and history of success.
Yeah.
And I think most Lakers fans would agree with me. LeBron's era is not even close to like top 5 eras in Lakers history. Like it's an afterthought. So I get like when you got to the Lakers, they had missed the playoffs 5 years in a row. But if it wasn't going to be you, I hate to say it this way, Kenny, this is going to sound like, it's annoying when you think about how the Lakers always get away with this. If it wasn't going to be LeBron, it probably was going to be somebody else. You know what I mean? Eventually, the Lakers were going to get saved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
how it always works out. So like to say you've gone above and beyond for this franchise. Yeah, like Kobe did too, Magic did too, Kareem did too, Jerry West did too. I don't know. Like that argument being that you're talking about the Lakers franchise, it just doesn't seem to hold that much weight to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's just what a wild time. And I as a LeBron, as somebody who like really values LeBron and thinks that LeBron is like, I think he's number 1 or number 2 of all time. And I I don't like to see him go out like this.
Yeah.
But it feels like this is the way it always ends with him.
Also, acting like you're being disrespected because you just opted into a $53 million deal.
Disrespect me all. Hey, disrespect me all you want, bro.
And they drafted your son 55th overall. It's like, yeah, come on, Ron. You can act disrespected. They have bent over backwards for you. They've gone.
They gave a
out
roster
of their
spot
way.
to your son, man. Yeah.
They've gone out of their way to make themselves the LeBron James home of the NBA. So, like, just
100%.
Cool it with those.
They hired his podcast host.
But you know what ultimately is going to happen is when he's asked about these things, he's just going to put it off on someone else. I never said that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm concerned about. Like, as much as I like to joke about JJ Redick being a podcast host and all this kind of stuff, like, give me a job too. I'll take that. He proved himself last year that he's a very capable head coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
And one of the things that concerns me is what will the ultimate result of this rift between Luka Doncic and LeBron James be? I think ultimately, JJ Redick is going to be on the chopping block this year. I legitimately think how many coaches survive a LeBron James rift between LeBron James and Kyrie, between LeBron James and Anthony Davis, does that make sense? Like,
I hear what you're saying. You'll notice this when I start getting into it. The only difference, LeBron ain't king in LA. He ain't the king of that Lakers organization anymore. That's Luka Doncic.
It's true.
That's the one unprecedented thing about this offseason and this situation for LeBron.
It's a good point.
He's not the guy that needs to get all the answers all the time. It's Luka. So I think that's the biggest issue we're having right now.
It's true. That's a good point. All right, topic number 3 before we get out of here. Donald Trump threatens the Washington Commanders and apparently the Cleveland Guardians as well. But I want to read this story to you. CNN posted a story based off of Donald Trump's Truth Social account where he said, I may put a restriction on them that if they don't change the name back to the original Washington Redskins and get rid of the ridiculous moniker Washington Commanders, I won't make a deal for them to build a stadium in Washington. The team would be much more valuable and the deal would be much more exciting for everyone. And so basically the deal is that the Washington Commanders obviously trying to get outside of the Dan Snyder era.
Right.
They were
they've done a good job of it.
They've done a wonderful job. They've drafted well. They've done well. They've got a really good team. They changed their name from the Washington Redskins to the Washington Commanders. They have a stadium, and I don't know exactly where the stadium is now, but the Washington, D.C. mayor basically came out and said, the old JFK Memorial Stadium, we want to tear it down, demolish it, and build a new stadium for the Commanders inside Washington, D.C. proper. And so for some reason, and I don't know the ins and outs of Washington, D.C. politics, but according to Donald Trump.
Yeah, you do. You know most of it.
According to Donald Trump, the federal government has the authority to shut that deal down to bring the Washington Commanders back into the city. And he's saying that he's going to shut that deal down unless they change the name to the Redskins. What are your thoughts?
What do you think my thoughts? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Ever.
Like, that's like going to Saturday Night Live and saying, do a skit with blackface or I'm going to have the SEC or FCC punish you. Why? Good God. Like, this anti-woke shit is, like, so ridiculous. Like, what? You know, what was it, the Jackie Robinson thing when it came to, like, diversity, equity, and inclusion and shit? You guys are you're off your rocker. You have no idea which way's up anymore. Like, you just want. Why do they have to be named the Redskins? Why?
Like, what does it do?
What does that accomplish? Like, I know there's debates out there about, like, actual Native Americans wanting Redskins, the name, to be returned to how it was because they felt like at least some way they were honored or whatever. But there's also other Native Americans that are like, that's the most offensive shit in the world.
Yeah.
You're literally calling us. You're defining us by our skin.
By
and that were
pejorative,
red,
yeah.
and then like the picture of it is just like a Native American with a headdress on.
Right.
It's like, so it's like I don't want to get into that debate because there's the Cleveland Indians change their name, but then you have the Braves and the Seminoles and like all the other tribes. Like I don't know how to dive into that debate as a whole. But what I will say is they changed it already. And for you to like threaten action if they don't change it back to Redskins, it's exactly the example I brought up. It's like telling Saturday Night Live, stop being woke and give us a skit with blackface, or I'm going to have the FCC
shut you
crack
down.
down on you. Like
Yeah.
Like what
I'll tell you what it
What the
reminds
hell are
me
you
of.
doing?
I'll tell you what it reminds me. What it reeks of to me is I got a shitstorm coming my way with this one specific story that I'm trying to hide. So let me just drop
That's probably the right way of looking at this.
let me drop a race bomb on everybody and get the conversation. So shout out to you, evil Captain America. You did exactly what you wanted to do, and that's get me and Gabe talking about that and not about the other stuff. So
Oh, the Epstein list? Are you talking about the Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell list? Is that what you're talking about?
are you
about that? His people, the people that voted for him, aren't forgetting about that.
Are you an enigma, like Donna? Are you an enigma, or are you not?
Okay, sidebar. Before we get out of here,
Sidebar.
how the hell do you run on that? You run on, oh, we're going to be so open. We're going to release the JFK files and the Epstein files. We're going to let you, the American people, know everything. All this damn
Transparency.
corruption going on in Washington right now. Then you get in to office after running on that, and you're like, well, you know, it was the
Never
Democrats.
mind.
The Democrats wrote it up, so it's probably bullshit anyway. You know what I mean?
Never mind.
He's like, not every name in there means that they were fully involved. You know, before I release this,
What
like,
names
know
are you
that.
talking about, Donald?
We are in an episode of The Twilight Zone. I'm fully convinced.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, like, yeah, it is wild to me how, and this is just my little sidebar. It is wild to me how you can run on something and then come out not even 6 months later and be like, never mind, and then go, how dare you even ask me this question, you stupid idiots?
Why are you so worried about it? It's
Why?
like you ran on it. You mentioned it at every rally. Not one rally. Every rally you went to. Fuck, man.
So wild.
And I'm sure we'll get some great, well thought out comments.
Oh, I'm
from
sure.
people that really support that guy named
Evil Captain America. That's what we like to call him here at the Bluff City Media.
Captain America.
Evil Captain America.
Okay, evil Cap. That makes more sense. I was like, Captain America, we need to relax there. Evil Captain America. That makes sense.
Elon Musk was evil Iron Man.
Is this a sane? Has to be.
Yeah.
I can hear him saying those right now.
Oh, by the way, we talked about you on the Anthony Sane show yesterday.
Oh God, what happened?
We talked about your 12 a.m., 1 a.m. phone calls that we love.
I did no phone call. This was a text.
Okay.
This was a text.
I was
And
like,
he goes, you're drunk, and I'm like, most of the way there.
almost there. I told him, I said, bro, it is the highlight of my night when I get the 12 a.m., 1 a.m. phone calls where Gabe is going off. And then he goes, oh, by the way.
Yes, I do. There's just so much running through my mind.
I love it, dude. You're the man, bro. You can call me anytime you want to, man. I love it.
Yeah, but it was about a certain trade rumor.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you guys talked about. I need to go back and check it out then. All right, but that's gonna do it for the On the Bluff episode 136. Make sure you go check out all of our great work. Go to youtube.com, type in Bluff City Media, and you can get just about everything. G5 Classified podcast can be coming back here relatively shortly, but check out the Sane Show, check out Bluff, and check out On the Bluff, check out Tigers on Tap. There's so much content. Take in all of it. But you know what? We'll see you next week, and until then, enjoy yourself.
Thank you for listening to On the Bluff. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts.
Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports and how you can become an insider.